My Three Sons, 1960-1972, was one of television's longest-running and most heartwarming family sitcoms, capturing the joys and challenges of raising three boys with humor, love, and timeless life lessons. Starring Fred MacMurray as the devoted father, the show became a beloved staple of American TV and a symbol of wholesome family entertainment. Its mix of warmth, laughter, and genuine emotion made it unforgettable for generations of viewers. But decades later, fans still wonder what happened to the talented cast who brought the Douglas family to life. In this video, we'll revisit the stars of My Three Sons and reveal where they are now and what they're doing in 2025. Stanley Livingston was born on November 24, 1950 in Los Angeles, California, and stepped into the role of Chip Douglas in My Three Sons in 1960, at just 9 years old, portraying the youngest and most mischievous of the Douglas sons. Chip's character brought innocence, humor, and relatability to the long-running series, endearing him to viewers as he navigated childhood and adolescence on screen, while embodying the universal struggles of growing up under constant scrutiny. Livingston's own childhood mirrored the pressures and isolation common to child stars. The demands of filming, the early exposure to fame, and the absence of a normal peer environment created emotional stress and required a suppression of personal impulses to meet professional expectations. Despite these challenges, he largely avoided the dark side of child stardom. There were no arrests, no high-profile scandals, and no destructive behaviors publicly documented. Yet the psychological strain of living life in front of the camera cannot be underestimated, particularly as he transitioned into adulthood in an industry notorious for discarding young actors once their youthful appeal faded. Professionally, Livingston faced the challenge of typecasting, struggling to find meaningful roles that matched his early fame, and later reinvented himself as a director and producer, even orchestrating a reunion movie decades later. His personal life remained largely private, characterized by stability and careful financial management, including real estate investments and prudent handling of residuals, leading to a net worth estimated at $910 million as of 2025. At 75, Livingston's journey illustrates the rare path of a child actor who successfully negotiated the treacherous waters of early fame, transforming early vulnerability into sustained professional and financial stability while quietly navigating the pressures and emotional sacrifices demanded by Hollywood's limelight. Fred MacMurray was born on August 30, 1908 in Kankakee, Illinois, and took on the role of Steve Douglas in My Three Sons in 1960, at the age of 52, portraying a widowed aeronautical engineer who became the stabilizing anchor for his sprawling family of three sons. On screen, Steve Douglas embodied the idealized American father, calm, measured, moral, and deeply empathetic, guiding his sons through life's trials, with patience and wisdom that captivated audiences. Off-screen, MacMurray's life contrasted sharply with this polished image. He was notoriously frugal, earning nicknames like the thriftiest man in Hollywood for behaviors such as reusing tea bags, wearing the same suits for decades, and carefully tracking every dollar spent. His childhood was marked by modest means and a strict upbringing that instilled discipline but left emotional scars. He often concealed vulnerability and struggled with self-expression traits that may have fueled both his meticulous work ethic and financial obsession. Despite the public perception of a stable Hollywood career, he had moments of tension with co-stars and producers, particularly regarding his preference to film scenes in blocks that suited his schedule, which could disrupt production flow. While he avoided major public scandal, he maintained a certain aloofness and exerted control over his environment in ways that sometimes alienated colleagues. MacMurray married twice and had children, managing a family life that blended devotion with a certain distance dictated by work and personal routines. His financial acumen extended to real estate and agriculture, allowing him to amass a fortune estimated at $150 million by the time of his death on November 5, 1991, from pneumonia at age 83, leaving behind a legacy that juxtaposes the comforting father figure on television with a man of meticulous control, private eccentricity, and extraordinary wealth built outside the limelight. Barry Livingston was born on December 17, 1953, in Los Angeles, California, and joined My Three Sons in 1963 at age 10 as Ernie Thompson Douglas, the bespectacled, intelligent neighbor who eventually became an adopted member of the Douglas family. Ernie's character was the archetypal brainy kid navigating the complexities of adolescence with a combination of curiosity, moral integrity, and gentle humor that endeared him to audiences while serving as a counterbalance to the rambunctious Douglas boys. Barry's own childhood was marked by the pressures of early stardom in Hollywood, where young actors often faced relentless scrutiny, typecasting, and the constant challenge of separating their public persona from their private selves. He was teased at school for his glasses and slight build, which only deepened his resilience and self-discipline. Professionally, Barry's career was shaped by a mixture of opportunities and constraints. He successfully avoided the pitfalls that ruined many child actors, yet he faced persistent typecasting as the nerdy kid, which limited certain roles, and occasionally led to tension with casting directors who underestimated his versatility. Off-screen, he maintained a reputation for professionalism, rarely engaging in scandal, although he did navigate the usual Hollywood dramas of competitive peers and the occasional behind-the-scenes politics of television production. His personal life has been relatively stable, though he has spoken in interviews about the challenges of balancing a lifelong career with family and personal aspirations, often needing to assert his independence amid a demanding industry. As of 2025, at 71, Barry Livingston remains active in acting, directing, and producing, with a net worth estimated at $5 million derived from decades of steady work syndication, residuals, and savvy real estate investments, reflecting a carefully cultivated career and a life that successfully bridged the gap between child stardom and adult creative accomplishment. Don Grady, born Don Luis Agrati, on June 8, 1944 in San Diego, California, began portraying Robbie Douglas in My Three Sons in 1960 at age 16, stepping into the role of the charming, musically gifted middle son who later became the eldest due to cast changes. Robbie's character was a central figure in the Douglas household, combining charisma, confidence, and emotional intelligence, and often functioning as a bridge between his father and younger brothers, earning him admiration from viewers and establishing him as a teen idol of the era. Grady's childhood was a complicated balancing act, blending the responsibilities of early stardom with normal adolescent development, a combination that created both opportunity and intense pressure. Off-screen, he experienced the hidden struggles common to performers of his generation, typecasting disputes with producers over creative control, and the challenge of maintaining a personal identity distinct from his public persona. While he largely avoided public scandal, he was known to be temperamental on set and deeply affected by the volatility of Hollywood careers, navigating periods of relative obscurity after leaving acting. His personal life included marriages, separations, and the private management of familial relationships, all undertaken while contending with the emotional after-effects of growing up in the public eye. Grady successfully transitioned to music composition for television and stage, although the financial rewards were modest compared to the fame of his youth. He passed away on June 27, 2012, at age 68 from myeloma, leaving a net worth estimated between $1.5 to $2 million, reflecting a lifetime of intermittent visibility, artistic dedication, and careful financial management. Grady's story exemplifies the complexities of child and teen stardom, the enduring pressures of fame, and the delicate interplay between personal fulfillment, creative expression, and public expectation. Tim Considine was born on December 31, 1940 in Los Angeles, California, and began portraying Mike Douglas, the responsible eldest son in My Three Sons in 1960 at age 19. Mike embodied maturity, loyalty, and quiet leadership, often functioning as a stabilizing force within the Douglas household, and his character's ability to navigate adolescent and adult challenges made him a relatable anchor for the audience throughout the show's early years. Considine's own upbringing was complicated by the pressures of early fame entering show business at a young age, after a childhood marked by the competitive environment of Hollywood and the challenge of living in his parents' shadow as they encouraged his acting pursuits while navigating financial insecurities. His career trajectory was uneven. While he achieved early stardom through the Hardy Boys Disney projects and My Three Sons, he eventually left the show in 1965 due to creative differences and a desire to pursue writing, directing, and photography, a decision that drew industry speculation and highlighted the tension between commercial success and personal fulfillment. Considine's private life remained relatively scandal-free, yet he experienced the quiet strain of managing fame, familial expectations, and professional reinvention, particularly as he transitioned to an accomplished career as an automotive historian and photographer, even producing iconic work such as the cover photography for Joni Mitchell's Blue. His departure from acting at the height of his youthful fame represented both a risk and a liberation, reflecting the complexities of balancing early success with long-term satisfaction. At the time of his death on March 3, 2022, at age 81, his net worth was estimated at $1. $5 million derived from royalties, photography, and selective creative projects, embodying a life in which personal integrity, professional reinvention, and quiet accomplishment defined his legacy more than tabloid spectacle ever could. Beverly Garland, born October 17, 1926 in Santa Cruz, California, was 43 when she joined My Three Sons in 1969 as Barbara Harper Douglas, the astute and compassionate schoolteacher who became the wife of Steve Douglas, providing a stabilizing and empathetic presence in the series' evolving family dynamics. Barbara's character combined intelligence, warmth, and humor, often serving as the emotional glue that held the family together, and offering viewers a model of progressive womanhood that blended independence with nurturing instincts. Garland's early life was shaped by modest means and exposure to societal challenges, compelling her to develop resilience, adaptability, and a determined work ethic that would underpin her multifaceted career. Professionally, she carved a path through Hollywood that blended television, B-movies, and entrepreneurship, often portraying strong, self-reliant women while simultaneously running her own hotel in North Hollywood and serving as honorary mayor, demonstrating a rare combination of artistic and business acumen. Garland's career was not without obstacles. She faced typecasting skepticism from male-dominated studios and the pressures of sustaining visibility in a changing industry. Yet she remained a consummate professional, admired for her charm and reliability. Off-screen, she skillfully managed personal and professional demands, while maintaining a low-profile private life, avoiding scandal, but navigating the complexities of fame with strategic intelligence. Beverly Garland passed away on December 5, 2008, at age 82, from natural causes, leaving an estate valued at approximately $6 million, reflecting both her success in entertainment and her entrepreneurial ventures. Her legacy remains enduring, a testament to her talent, business savvy, and the dignified way she balanced personal integrity with the demands of Hollywood stardom. William Demarest was born on February 27, 1892, in St. Paul, Minnesota, and joined My Three Sons in 1965 at age 73, taking over as Uncle Charlie O'Casey. the gruff, cantankerous yet ultimately warm-hearted housekeeper who became a linchpin in the Douglas household. Uncle Charlie's character offered a complex blend of humor, discipline, and unexpected tenderness, providing both comic relief and moral grounding, and resonated deeply with viewers for his authenticity and seasoned presence. Demarest's early life was marked by hardship and a struggle to find stable work, with formative years spent navigating a family of modest means and enduring societal pressures during the turn of the century. His professional journey was a roller coaster. A veteran of over 140 films, he was notorious for his sharp tongue, demanding demeanor, and frequent clashes with directors and co-stars, earning a reputation as a difficult yet irreplaceable character actor. One of his most publicized setbacks was being overlooked for major roles in favor of more pliable actors, which fueled a lifelong bitterness he channeled into his performances. On a personal level, Demarest experienced tumultuous relationships and the pressures of maintaining a household while pursuing a grueling Hollywood schedule, often relying on his sturdy reputation and resilience to navigate industry politics. Despite these challenges, he achieved professional acclaim, including an Emmy nomination for My Three Sons, and maintained close friendships with peers like Fred MacMurray, which helped stabilize his later career. Demarest died on December 28, 1983, at age 91, from prostate cancer, leaving a comfortable estate estimated in the low millions, reflecting a life of sustained, if idiosyncratic, achievement, and a legacy as one of Hollywood's enduring character actors whose work balanced humor, discipline, and depth. Tina Cole, born August 4, 1943 in Hollywood, California, was 21 when she joined My Three Sons in 1964 as Katie Millard Douglas, portraying the devoted and endearingly wholesome wife to Robbie Douglas, whose loyalty, charm, and nurturing nature made her a cornerstone of the series' domestic narrative. Katie's character became an emblem of 1960s idealized femininity on television, balancing moral integrity with warmth and intelligence, which endeared her to audiences and cemented her place as a beloved figure in the show's dynamic family ensemble. Cole's upbringing in the King family musical dynasty was both a blessing and a curse. Surrounded by performance, from a young age she faced constant scrutiny, and high expectations and the pressure to succeed led to internalized anxieties that she masked with poise and cheerfulness. Her career trajectory was not without challenges. While she thrived in music and acting, she struggled against typecasting and the limitations imposed on women in mid-century television. Behind the scenes, her romantic involvement with co-star Don Grady attracted attention, generating quiet intrigue without ever erupting into scandal. Yet she navigated the delicate balance of personal and professional life with discretion. Personal struggles included maintaining her identity and artistic credibility amidst family expectations, raising children, and later cultivating a successful career as an acting coach. Now 82 years old, Tina Cole maintains an active presence in entertainment and education, with a net worth estimated at $2 million accumulated through her enduring work in music, television teaching, and strategic investments, leaving a legacy defined by resilience, versatility, and a quiet elegance that transcended the trappings of celebrity while influencing generations of performers. Rana Troop, born in 1945, into the illustrious musical lineage of jazz icon Bobby Troop, and stepdaughter to sultry singer Julie London, entered My Three Sons in 1970 at the age of 25 as Polly Williams Douglas, the devoted, supportive, and eternally kind-hearted wife of Chip Douglas. Polly's character was emblematic of mid-century idealized womanhood, gentle, nurturing, and moral, yet she was layered with subtle intelligence and quiet strength, which allowed her to navigate the complex dynamics of the Douglas family with grace, earning the enduring affection of viewers. Troupe's early life was marked by the dual pressures of maintaining her individuality in a family defined by fame. While grappling with the shadow of replacement in a high-profile role, she was originally cast as Sister Bertrille in The Flying Nun before being replaced by Sally Field, a professional disappointment that could have derailed a less resilient performer. Professionally, she recovered from this setback, building a steady career in television through appearances on Emergency Knots Landing and The Partridge Family. But the veneer of calm belied the internal struggle of carving her own identity in an industry where nepotism and legacy often overshadowed individual merit. Off-screen Troupe managed to maintain an unusually scandal-free profile for Hollywood standards, avoiding the common pitfalls of substance abuse, public infidelity, or tabloid drama, instead focusing on mentorship education and creating a stable personal life outside the limelight. At 80er, net worth is modest, estimated under $1 million, reflecting a career rooted in consistency and discretion rather than sensationalism, underscoring her ability to navigate fame with integrity while managing the weight of familial expectations and professional pressures. Troupe's narrative represents the quiet power of resilience, discretion, and sustained professionalism, illustrating that a life in Hollywood can be rewarding even without the glare of scandal or the trappings of excess. William Frawley, born February 26, 1887, in Burlington, Iowa, was 73 when he took on the role of Michael Francis "Bub" O'Casey in My Three Sons in 1960, delivering a masterclass in portraying a curmudgeonly, sarcastic housekeeper whose gruffness belied an unexpectedly tender heart. Bub's character was pivotal, grounding the show's narrative with his humor, wisdom, and occasional wisdom-laden exasperation, creating a figure audiences loved for his imperfections and relatability. Frawley's childhood was fraught with hardship. He grew up in a family struggling financially and socially, where early responsibility and exposure to harsh realities forced him to cultivate a sarcastic wit and resilient persona as protection against ridicule and deprivation. His career, while glittering, was punctuated by turbulence, though already famous for his role as Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy. His alcoholism became legendary, causing frequent on-set tensions, particularly with co-star Vivian Vance, and nearly derailing his later television work. One of his most notable professional failures was the ongoing threat of being fired due to his drinking, which he narrowly avoided thanks to his undeniable talent and indispensable presence. Off-screen, his personal life mirrored his professional volatility. Relationships were fleeting, and complicated rumors of affairs swirled, and his temperament could be intimidating. Despite this, Frawley remained a consummate performer, delivering precise, memorable performances until declining health overtook him. He died on March 3, 1966, at age 79 from a heart attack. At his passing, his net worth was roughly $500,000, modest for someone of his influence. Yet his legacy endures as one of television's first iconic character actors who blended vulnerability, humor, and a rebellious edge that resonated deeply with audiences and set a precedent for generations of comedic performers. Meredith McRae, born May 30, 1944, in Houston, Texas, joined My Three Sons at age 19 in 1963 as Sally Ann Morrison, the intelligent, articulate, and compassionate girlfriend of Mike Douglas, later becoming his wife and an enduring female presence in a largely male household. Sally Ann's character resonated with viewers for her blend of emotional depth, independence, and poise, offering a dynamic counterpoint to the series' male-driven narratives and exemplifying the evolving representation of women on television in the 1960s. McRae's upbringing was deeply entwined with Hollywood as the daughter of actors Gordon and Sheila McRae, and while this afforded her opportunities, it also imposed intense pressure to succeed, cultivate poise, and manage public perception from an early age, leaving little room for private exploration or mistakes. Her career was marked by both success and personal struggle after leaving My Three Sons. She hosted talk shows, produced documentaries, and engaged in acting, yet she faced the challenges of early alcoholism, the difficulties of sustaining a career as a young woman in a competitive industry, and navigating the complexities of marriage to actor Greg Mullavey. McRae emerged from these struggles as an advocate for recovery and health, publicly sharing her experiences to inspire others. Her final years were defined by a courageous battle with brain cancer, which claimed her life on July 14, 2000, at age 56, leaving behind a legacy of professional versatility, advocacy, and personal resilience. At the time of her death, her estate was valued between $1 to $2 million, encompassing her earnings from television production and hosting, reflecting a life devoted to creative achievement, personal growth, and the nurturing of public awareness, with a career that balanced the glitter of Hollywood with a commitment to social contribution and personal integrity. Dawn Lynn, born January 11, 1963, in Los Angeles, California, stepped into the spotlight at the age of 6 when she joined My Three Sons in 1969 as Dodie Harper Douglas, instantly captivating audiences with her cherubic innocence, sharp comedic timing, and precocious intelligence that belied her age. Dodie's character became a focal point of emotional resonance in the series, balancing the rambunctious energy of the Douglas household with a blend of charm and resourcefulness that endeared her to millions. Behind the scenes, Lynn's childhood was a complex tapestry of early fame intertwined with medical challenges. A hormonal deficiency stunted her growth, making her physically distinctive, but also the subject of teasing and social exclusion, compelling her to cultivate a resilience and adaptability far beyond her years. Her professional life, though relatively free from scandal, included the pressures and pitfalls common to child actors, navigating typecasting, negotiating parental oversight, and enduring the relentless gaze of Hollywood's industry insiders. Despite these obstacles, she managed to maintain her personal dignity, but her later life was marked by significant health crises, including a severe bout of bacterial meningitis that led to a coma in 2022, highlighting the fragility and unpredictability of life after early stardom. Complicating her personal narrative, her older brother, Leif Garrett's highly publicized and often turbulent career exposed her to the intense scrutiny of tabloids and public speculation, though she consistently maintained her privacy. Financially, at 62, Lynn leveraged her residuals and wise investments in real estate to sustain a modest but stable net worth estimated at $1 million as of 2025. Her journey reflects a life that oscillates between the brilliance of early fame and the shadows of personal and familial challenges, embodying resilience, discretion, and the quiet triumph of surviving the pressures of a Hollywood childhood without succumbing to its more destructive temptations. John Howard, born April 14, 1913, in Cleveland, Ohio, joined My Three Sons in 1964 at age 51 as Dave Welch, the sharp, disciplined executive whose no-nonsense persona contrasted with Steve Douglas's more familial approach. Dave was a symbol of authority and structure, often shaping the workplace plotlines with a mixture of stern judgment and occasional paternal guidance, cementing audience respect for Howard's commanding presence. Howard's early life was far from glamorous. He grew up in modest circumstances and faced repeated teasing at school for his lanky frame and serious demeanor, cultivating a reserve and determination that would define both his acting and personal life. His career shone in classic films like Lost Horizon and The Philadelphia Story, yet his military service during World War II was a defining period, earning the Navy Cross and the French Croix de Guerre, but also exposing him to the trauma of war, which he kept private, rarely letting Hollywood's glamour mask the psychological scars. Despite a steady, scandal-free career, he faced the Hollywood challenge of aging out of leading roles and adjusting to television's faster pace. Yet, he avoided public controversy and gossip, maintaining a disciplined, almost austere lifestyle. Howard's personal life reflected similar stability. He was married with children dedicated to family and avoided the excesses that ensnared many of his contemporaries. Facing the losses of peers and the pressures of staying relevant in changing entertainment landscapes, he navigated professional and personal challenges with resilience. At his death on February 19, 1995, at age 81 in Los Angeles, his net worth was estimated at $1 to $2 million accumulated through decades of film, television, and shrewd financial management. Howard's legacy is a testament to quiet strength, professional integrity, and the disciplined pursuit of both personal and professional excellence, revealing the layered life behind his dignified on-screen authority. Joan Vos, born July 30, 1927 in St. Albans, Queens, New York, appeared in My Three Sons in 1964 at age 37 as John Deering, a guest character whose sophistication and grace added allure to the series' domestic narratives. Jan was poised, intelligent, and often involved in storylines that tested the Douglas family's social and emotional dynamics, allowing Vos to showcase a combination of elegance and nuanced humor. Her early life was marked by economic hardship and the pressures of a competitive New York environment, where she faced teasing for her ambitions in dance and modeling, prompting an early development of resilience and a polished exterior. Vos transitioned from a Rockett and Conover model into acting, experiencing both the highs of early film work and the challenges of Hollywood's fickle casting practices. She was often typecast in glamorous or supportive roles, which limited opportunities for substantive dramatic work. Professionally, Vos endured the anxiety of job insecurity, the social politics of studio demands, and the pressures of balancing personal life with public expectations, though she avoided any major scandal, maintaining a reputation for professionalism. Personally, she devoted herself to teaching and raising her two children, while also navigating the subtle tensions inherent in leaving major acting projects to focus on family. She experienced the grief of lost peers and the strain of shifting industry trends, but preserved a sense of dignity and purpose. Joan Vos died on June 4, 2001, at age 73 from heart failure, leaving behind a net worth estimated between $500,000 to $1 million accumulated through her modeling, acting, and careful financial planning. Her life reflects the sacrifices and perseverance of a performer whose on-screen poise concealed a reality of resilience, adaptability, and quiet accomplishment, illustrating the complex balance between glamour, family, and personal integrity in mid-century Hollywood. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through classic television history. If you enjoyed learning about the cast of My Three Sons and where they are now, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more vintage Hollywood retrospectives, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your memories and suggestions, so let us know which TV show or movie cast you'd like us to feature next.